Hey everyone, welcome back to Brookwillow Knit. My name is Anna and today's episode is an introduction to the very first make-along that I will be hosting, which is called the Vest Friends Mal. I will go over the details and my inspiration around this make-along. I have patterns for ideas of different vests to make if you need some inspiration. And at the very end, I will show the grand prize that I have for the winner of this make-along. So yeah, let's just start out with why I decided to do this. A couple episodes ago where I was going through my closet and kind of auditing what I needed and what colors I needed, I realized that I need more layering pieces like vests, because the mood that I've been in is like ultra layer, big baggy everything, and I don't really have that third layering piece to go on top. So I realized I need more vests and I want to make them instead of purchasing them. And I asked you viewers if you'd be interested in joining in the make-along, and a lot of you were really excited about it, so I decided to go ahead and do it. So yeah, this is a vest make-along, and notice it's not a knit-along because I want people to be able to sew their vests and crochet them along with knitting as well, because ultimately at the end of the day we're trying to add a staple that is needed in the closet, and it doesn't really matter which craft will get us there. I think they're all really fun. And I kind of want to define what my idea of a vest is. Anything that is like a pullover or a button up, as long as it doesn't have sleeves on it and it's not quite a tank top, is what I consider a vest. So button-up waistcoats, pullover, just like I mentioned, I think will all work in this genre. And so the make-along will begin March 1st, which is this Wednesday if you're watching this video on time, and it'll run through April 30th. So we'll have 2 months to be able to make a vest. At first I was going to make it 3 months, but I figured since we can eliminate the whole sleeve aspect, that will save us like a month of work. So yeah, 2 months I think will be good for this. And I am going to be hosting it on both Instagram and Ravelry. I don't use Ravelry much, but I wanted to give people who weren't really on social media an opportunity to participate in this as well. So I'll post the link of the Ravelry forum down below, and the hashtag to use on Instagram is VestFriendsMal, which I'll also post below. Yeah, and the way that I'm going to choose the winner is anyone who completes their vest within this time frame. If you already have a WIP, that's fine to enter into this. And I will basically just put everybody's name that completed their vest into like a random generator type thing and choose the winner that way. So yeah, I think that's all of the information that I have regarding it. So let's get into some patterns that I think would be super cute to make for this. So I'm going to start out with the knitting category because that's what I have most of the patterns for, and that's what most people will probably be doing for this. So the first pattern that I thought would be super cool, and I really want to make this one, is the Super Oversized Sweater Vest by Anne van Meerveld. So pretty self-explanatory with the title of it being that it's oversized, it's boxy, it's a pullover V-neck sweater vest, just super staple piece, very kind of minimal, and I think it would be really great addition to people's closets. This pattern is $8.46 USD, and the sizes available run from extra small to 5XL. I did want to mention too that the designer said 4XL and 5XL have not been tested yet. So if you're knitting one of those sizes, let her know and she would give you the pattern for free as like a test knitter for it. So that's kind of a cool way to get a free pattern. The yarn that was used in this pattern is Wool & Gang's Feeling Good. I've knit with this yarn before. It's like an alpaca blend. It kind of resembles that unspun yarn that a lot of people are liking these days. And it comes in a lot of pretty colors too. But of course, any other bulky weight yarn would work very well for this pattern. It's knit bottom up. I think actually every single one of my vests that I have on this is bottom up. So be prepared for that if you're not super into bottom up construction. But yeah, this one is super cute and I probably will be making this one day soon. The next knitted vest on the list is one that I have had my eye on for a couple years now, like ever since it was released. And that's the Hirsholm by Luuanne Chau for Woolfolk. Yeah, I remember they released this, I think it was 2 years ago, and I don't know if it was the yellow or that really cool cable knit in the front that drew me to it, but I just love it. And I really like the shape of it as well. One thing you're gonna see common throughout this whole entire list is everything is pretty much oversized, because that's what I personally am looking for in a vest, especially because I'm intending it to be worn over multiple things. This is a $10 pattern. Woolfolk's patterns are pretty expensive. I think they're all about $10, but I've knit 2 patterns from them so well, and I feel like they're very good and well-written patterns. So I would definitely pay the $10 personally for this pattern. It's available in 9 different sizes, and it uses Woolfolk Luft yarn, which is a bulky weight yarn. This is also bottom up and cable knit with a V-neck, and I just think it's so dang cute. Third on the list is the vest that I'm going to be making for this make along, and it's the texture vest by Helga Isager. This is $5.67 pattern. It ranges from sizes small to 3XL, and it is using Isager yarn spinny and Isager yarn alpaca 3. I was going to personally use this yarn for the pattern, but I really wanted to work with Camellia Fiber Co. again because I made a bulky green hat from them a couple weeks ago, and I loved the yarn so much that I wanted to try out their yarn in a weight that I would work more with, like a DK weight. And so that's what I ordered in like a beautiful kind of pinky brown color, and the yarn is being delivered tomorrow and just in time for March 1st, so I'm super excited. And I also got the buttons when I was at my local yarn shop yesterday, and I want to show you those as well. One thing that drew me to this vest is the toggle like buttons that is used, and so I definitely wanted to also use toggle buttons. So I got these, they're handmade and they were available at my yarn shop. They're super cute. They were like $3 a piece. I was gonna go on Etsy to buy some, but these were just very readily available, so that's why I got them. A couple other things that I really like about this vest and why I'm making it is the folded collar detail. I know that the polo style collars on different garments is very in style right now, and I just think it adds a cool detail that you don't really see in a lot of knitting patterns, and that's one thing I really liked about this. I also really like the overall texture of the vest as well, so I'm super excited to get going on this week. If you want to knit with something a little more color work, I would recommend the Wild Geese Hiking Vest by Denise Bell from Lost City Knits. This is a really cool motif pattern. I like the colors they chose on this sample with the tan and the navy blue. I think there could be a lot of cool color combinations for this particular sweater. It is $6, available in 10 different sizes, and they use Plötulopi unspun Icelandic wool. So if you have some of that laying around and you don't know what to make with it, this would be a really good option. There are also, of course, a lot of other great unspun yarns out there if you can't get your hands on the Plötulopi. This particular garment is worked bottom up and it is steeked. So keep that in mind. If you want to make it, you will have to steek it. I myself steeked my very first sweater in the arms this last fall, and it actually ended up being a lot easier than I was anticipating. So don't be too afraid if this is something that is new to you. There are a lot of videos out there that kind of walk you through the whole process, but I would definitely consider making this vest maybe more in the fall time for me, because I don't know, there's just something about the pattern that just gives me like fall vibes. Since we are getting to the spring and summer months, I thought this next one would be really nice. It is the 221-18 Dove's Bay Vest by Drops Design. This is actually a free pattern, and the size ranges from small to 3XL, and it is used with the Drops Cotton Light. So staple summer fiber using the cotton and having just like the airy lacy front panels, bit more cropped with the buttons, just gives like major spring and summer, and just maybe a nice little piece to add over a t-shirt or a dress or something to just add a little bit more to it. I was on Pinterest and I saw this navy blue lacy knit tank that I thought was super cute, and I really wanted to recreate it. And so this one kind of gives me that feel for it. So maybe if I were to make it, I would also do it in like a navy blue or something, or even like a light tan, I think would be nice. I think I would go even a bit more oversized than shown on this model here. But yeah, I think this one's really pretty and it's free, so yeah. So that's all the patterns for knitting. I have 2 patterns to share for crochet and 2 patterns to share for sewing. The reason being is there just wasn't as many out there that I personally really liked and would really want to make. And for sewing patterns, it's kind of hard to find them because there isn't like a big database like Ravelry, as far as I know. If there is, please let me know. So starting with crochet, this first one kind of reminds me of the Drops one that I just showed you, and it's the Flowertastic Vest by Aki Daga. This one costs $4.99, and the sizes available are small to 3XL. The pattern used Red Heart Super Saver solids, but if you want to stick with more of a natural fiber, it's an Aran weight, so I'm sure any Aran weight fiber would be nice for this. I really liked, again, the lace detailing on the front, but I also thought the back panel was really cool too. And the other thing I really liked about this is the different variations that it has. So the first one showing the buttons, or you can completely omit the buttons, or if you wanted to make it a tie front, it looks like those are all options available for this vest. So I thought that was pretty cool. And again, I think I would go a bit more oversized than shown on this mannequin here, just to be able to get over a few pieces of clothing. And I think I would actually lengthen it a little bit too. It seems just maybe a little too cropped for my taste, but I imagine adding a whole other repeat to it wouldn't be like that big of a deal. But yeah, I thought this one was super nice. And the second crochet pattern I have is for granny square lovers out there. It is the Tulip Square Spencer by Wilma Westenberg. This pattern costs $4.42 and the sizes available are extra small to 5XL. They used Lion Brand Color Theory for this particular garment, which is a worsted weight. The thing I really liked about this vest is the fact that the granny squares and the ribbing was all one solid color. It wasn't like typical multicolored granny squares, which I think is cool, but I think that's what makes this one unique, is the fact that it's just all one color, and it really just brings out that lace detail in the granny squares. And I really like the color that they chose for this particular sample. I think for this one, I would maybe crop it just a little bit, maybe eliminate one whole panel at the bottom, and that would make it pretty good for my personal taste. So for a couple sewing ideas, this one is the Women's Everyday Waistcoat by the New Craft House. I think this may be a newer pattern that was recently released, if I'm correct. I'm not sure. But the price of this one is $14.80 and it has 15 available sizes. I really like the sample that the Instagram handle So Impatient made. That's actually how I discovered this pattern. But yeah, it's really cool with the quilted pieces. I think you could either quilt it yourself or buy like pre-quilted fabric. And the ties in the front are super cool as well. I definitely am going to attempt to make this particular piece for this make along as well. I just have to figure out what color I want and go out and find the fabric for it. I'm not sure yet if I'll quilt it myself or if I'll buy pre-quilted fabric. I think that'd be like the easiest option for me, but I don't know. I just think it is going to make a super cute addition to my closet, so that's what I'm going to make it for. And the final sewing pattern, and the final pattern of overall for this is the Billy by Merchant and Mills. And I think this one was $19.99. I forgot to write the price down and I lost internet. But yeah, the sizes are 34 to 54 UK. I think these are men's sizes because they only show this garment on men on their website. So I don't really know what it translates for women's sizes. I tried looking, but all of the conversion charts I could find were for shoes, not garments. But I really want to make this too. I think it's a really cool utilitarian style vest. I like the button pockets and just the buttons, the snap button detail down the front. I really like it in this color shown as well. I probably would do the same myself because this olive green goes with pretty much everything. So again, this is just another vest that I want to make for this make along. So I'm gonna be all vested out these next couple months. Now that we've gone through all of the patterns that I think would be really fun for this, I wanted to show you the prize that's available at the end for one lucky winner. I wanted to have something knitting related for this prize and just a few essentials that I personally really like for knitting. So the first one being a project bag, because how are you going to hold everything if you don't have something to hold it in? And I ended up making the project bag for the prize. This is the Zero Waste Stash Bag pattern by Baguettes. I've made 2 versions of these for myself. The pattern comes in 3 sizes, so I made the small and the large. This one is the medium size. It's the first time I made it, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. I desperately want to keep this for myself, but I can't. I have to be good, and I have a little bit of extra fabric, so I can make another one for myself. So we'll have some friendship bags for the Vest Friends Mal. And there are quite a few exciting things inside this bag as well. So let's start off with the yarn. I went to my local yarn shop yesterday, darn it anyway, in Stillwater, Minnesota. And I picked up a couple skeins of yarn. So when I was thinking about what yarn I wanted to give away as a prize, I wanted to make sure that people could get like a project or two out of the yarn instead of giving away one skein and then someone stuck not entirely knowing what to do with the skein or if they have to buy more of it to make a full project. So I thought that sock yarn was just the way to go because you can get like a few pairs of socks out of each skein. The first one being this beautiful colorway from La Bien-Aimée. I have never knit with her yarn before, but I always loved the colors that she comes with. And this is just so beautiful. I thought it matched the bag pretty well too with these olivey greens, and I personally have been really into lavender this season, so it kind of just checkmarked all of the boxes. And there's a little bit of speckling in it and some kind of bright pinks, and I just thought it was beautiful. So this is one of the prizes, and I wanted to get another skein that could be used for accent color for like heels and toes. So I got this dark brownie pink from Life in the Long Grass, and I thought it looked nice with this because this brownie color is kind of hidden in some of these accent colors in here. So I thought the two would look super nice together. So that's the yarn that I chose. And then I decided to add in a pair of Chau needles. These are my favorite sock knitting needles. They're US size 1. I picked the US size 1 because my favorite sock pattern is DRK Everyday Socks, and this is the size that you use for it. So I just thought that it would be pretty good universal sock size, and I got it in the 40-inch cable length, so you can knit 2 at a time. Of course, you don't have to use these needles for that. You can use them for whatever you want. I just really like these, so I thought it'd be good to add it to the bag. The last little knitting related piece is something special inside of this little bag. I don't know if you remember, but I had been making my own stitch markers using rocks that I found up on the shores of Lake Superior in northern Minnesota. So I thought it'd be really fun to include some of the stitch markers that I made. So here is one. You may not be able to see this. Actually, let me get up close to show you all 3 of them because they are just beautiful. So yes, these are the 3 stitch markers. One of them is a progress keeper, and then 2 of them are just classic stitch markers. And the colors are really nice because they're earthy already, and they go with the bag, they go with the yarn. Everything just flows super well together. And then finally, it wouldn't be a knitting bag if there wasn't some lovely loose leaf tea in it. So there is a local tea maker in the town that I'm in, and they make wonderful loose leaf tea. I'm like obsessed with the loose leaf tea. So I got a couple sample packs of it. This first one is a sweet cinnamon orange tea. It's an herbal tea with rooibos, orange peel, cinnamon, and clove. And it is so unbelievably good. And then this second one is Scandinavian wild berry, which is also an herbal tea. And it's just full of lovely flavors. I'm actually drinking it myself right here. I had to pick up a big pack of it myself, and it just makes like the most beautiful color. And then of course I didn't want to assume that anybody already had tea diffuser, so I included this little mesh tea ball to steep the tea in. So that's everything that I have for the giveaway right now. I may or may not add a few more things along the way because I have 2 months to go and I'm sure I'll just love to find more things. So that is something that you could potentially win for this make along. But yeah, please let me know in the comments below if you plan on joining in on the make along and what you think you may be making for it. I'm super excited. I'm really excited to kind of make some friends along the way for the Vest Friends mail. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you liked this list of vests that I made for you, hit the like button. And if you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and you won't miss out on any future content. In the meantime, let's get ready to make some vests. I hope you have a good rest of your week and we will chat next time. Thank you. Bye.